Are you an ambitious network marketer that wants to understand how to effectively continue to grow your network marketing business in a down economy or recession? You may find that when you're trying to grow big, in times where things are tough economically, you may get a lot of prospects saying, just not right now, or I don't know if I can afford this, or maybe when this recession passes. Now that's no good for anybody, because you literally can offer that person an additional income, which would help them in that situation. And if you're not getting anyone signed up, your business is declining. So nobody wins. So I'm going to dive into what I've observed in many years in this industry. I'm not just here to give you opinions. I'm here to this is what's happening in our industry and what you can do to benefit and work things in your favor. So I decided to get straight to it. So let's just dive in. I'm going to begin with the definition of a recession. I have it off camera here on my notes. Now, a recession is typically a reduction in the GDP in two successive quarters. So we have GDP like a statistic that economic people use to measure growth or decline in an economy. And if that declines in two successive quarters, so 6 months in a row, then we are officially in a recession. Not my opinion, that is the definition. Now, what you're gonna see on my screen right now is you're gonna see that I did a little bit of research. I looked at the UK and the United States GDP over the past few years, and we can clearly see that in both of those economies, there has been a decline in the GDP in two successive quarters. So we have already had a recession. We've already been in a recession and been out of a recession, and nobody even realized. The reason I'm beginning with that is because the main problem that you're probably going to face with a down economy or with a recession is your presumption of its effect, the fear of it. Like, oh my goodness, when it happens, it's going to be a nightmare. Or, yeah, my prospect is kind of going to say that because, hey, it is a down economy. The energy you're giving off, subconsciously, your language, your demeanor, if you're fearful of this, if you feel that it's a real excuse for people, then they're probably going to feel that and give you it. Have you noticed how, especially early on in your career in network marketing, I know I definitely had this myself, the main objection that you received is probably the main objection you presume you're going to get, which is likely the main objection you had before you got started. I had a team member of mine who said, Richard, I don't understand it. No one seems to have the money. They seem really on board with it. He recorded a presentation he was giving. I said, mate, it's you. Listen to yourself. Bang on about how hard it was for you to get the money together to join. You're making this feel like a really big financial decision. Whether they feel that way or not, you're making them think, well, maybe it is. So it's the same ethos with this recession and downturn economy. We're almost giving people an open door before they've even decided they want to leave. We don't want to do that. So let's remove the fear around it, because that tends to be the biggest effect. When there's not much news around, it'll be all over the media, and then everyone will get fearful. However, as a smart marketer and as an ethical marketer that genuinely wants to help people, that for me is the time to advertise and really push your marketing as much as possible. If you genuinely feel, which you should, if you genuinely feel, I haven't asked you the question yet, that what you offer really helps people, do you feel that? Do you feel that the product you offer helps people? Do you feel that there are people doing well in your business? It has the capability, the possibility of helping someone ease their financial difficulties. If you genuinely feel that, why are you not out there helping people prepare rather than waiting to cure? Why are you not doing that now? It's like a down economy is the very reason to get into network marketing. A recession is the very reason to have a much stronger and much more secure plan B and a multiple income stream. That's the very reason to join. So I'm not sure right now because of the economy. You say, well, that's the exact reason that I'm marketing this so much. And they're kind of going to go, why? Well, be truthful. Just think about, as a common sense adult, ask intelligent questions. Well, how are you preparing for the recession or a down economy right now, financially? Well, I'm cutting back on things and I'm saving. And how much has that allowed you to save? It's not going to be much. Most people don't have that much spare at the end of a month, right? They're going to be, well, we've cut back on this, that, we've maybe saving $50 here or $100 there, whatever. Okay, and if you lost your job, or if fuel went massively up in price, however, would that extra $50 a month, would that be able to solve all of that? Well, absolutely not. We need an extra 500 or 1,000. Okay, so do you have something that is allowing you to generate that? No. Okay, so then we have a decision to make. Are we going to live in fear and cross our fingers and hope that it doesn't happen, and history says that it absolutely will? Or do we do something that can generate money now so that we can save, we can stockpile, and we have the ability to ride out something such as, a job loss or an increase in utility bills? What do you think is the smartest solution? If I was your friend and we were the other way around, what would you tell me to do? Worry, hope, cross my fingers, or do something about it? I tell you to do something about it. Okay, so what is different? Help me understand what is different for you than it is for me and anybody else. And that is a very tough question. People tend to go, well, I don't know if it could work for me. Well, here's some testimonials. Look at the people like you who've done really well with this. Okay. This person joined in a down economy. This person has ridden out this. A lot of these people here, they're not worried about a recession. They're not worried about a downturn economy because they have so much surplus and abundance in their life because of what I'm showing you. Wouldn't you like to be like them as opposed to on the other side of the fence, crossing fingers and worrying? Most people would. And I think if you gave people the truth of the matter and were a little bit braver in the questions you ask without being rude, I think you'll find their answers, they are more intelligent and more motivated than we perhaps give them credit for. So make sure that now is the time that you should be reaching people. And in a down economy as well, maybe just change your tactics slightly. Instead of going for the highest price package, if joining fee is an issue, maybe go for the lowest price package. As they do okay, maybe they can upgrade later on. Just some subtle changes in the kind of offer that you're making, in the angle that you're coming from, can really allow you to still grow very, very well in a down economy or in a recession, especially if you remove that fear, especially if you educate your prospect on the best way forward, and if you just keep it honest, open, and truthful with your questions. Was that helpful? Was that useful? I highly recommend, if you at all have the budget, be sinking it into your paid advertising for sure right now if you're able to do that. What happens often is people get fearful, so less people are advertising, which means there's lower costs for advertising, which means there's greater reach and less saturation. So now is a brilliant time, if you're watching this, to get this in front of your team and say, hey, listen, we're going to go on a charge, we're going to go on a run, we're really going to market hard because, listen, statistics say that there is a recession, or there is a media recession, there is a downturn in the economy, so we really want to help as many people now. Maybe you brand it. Maybe you've got to be careful in the terms you use. You can't be seen to be trying to give financial advice, but you could do something, prepare, new plan B or new plan A. You call it something and have a challenge, have a run, get the team excited about it. Instead of being fearful, they're like, oh, an opportunity. There's always winners and losers in every economy. And it's down to you and your tactics and your confidence and your bravery and how much you go all in with this as to whether you'll be on the winning or losing side. I just hope I've done enough here to give light a spark under you and say, hey, feed that with a bit of fuel, a couple of clever marketing ideas, a little bit of a rebrand of an offer and a challenge. You could probably do really, really well and help a lot of people in the process. Was that useful? Was that like a different approach from what most people are doing? I don't really buy into fear and all that crud. It is what it is. I'd rather live my life and enjoy myself up until something negative happens than worry about it and it still happen anyway. I just guess I'm a practical guy. I've been through enough in my life, as I'm sure you have too, to realize that worrying does no good. So anyway, if you do want some additional resources from me around marketing, around kind of how you can get what you've got in front of the right people, because we can target specific people even in a down economy. There are still people earning good money. There are still people doing well that aren't affected. We could still fill our team with those people for sure. If you want to know how to target that type of person, then there really are some platforms that are much better to do that than social media. If you go to the link that's in the top comment or in the description underneath this training, you're going to see a link there where you can click and request to join my private Facebook community. Now, it is not a usual, typical Facebook community. There's no pitching in there of network marketing companies. There's no prospecting allowed. So there's no spam in there whatsoever. Every post comes through me. So there is zero spam. It's nice and clean. And it's, for the ambitious, educated marketer that really wants to lead well, build a high-performing team, and build in a way that's more authentic to them, not having to post and prospect, not having to be glued to the phone, just a more professional way of doing things. Inside of that, when I'll approve your request to join, inside there is a guide section, and in that guide section there's a couple of trainings that I would call your attention to, which are both free. One is a case study that I've got on YouTube, how I did 1 million views and sponsored 750 people, and another is 4 high trust lead generation methods for network marketers. So this will really stand you in good stead no matter what's happening in the economy, to have those secure legs of qualified leads underneath your business. I hope to see you over in that community, and if you're a subscriber, I will speak to you again soon on the next one. As I always say, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires than excuses. I hope this was really helpful. Feel free to share it with anyone you think it would help, your team, in your group. Let's put it out there and really educate people so that we can remove this fear. It'll open people's minds up to your business as well, and I'd appreciate it if you do. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a fantastic day, and bye for now.